Are we on the internet?
Will you keep it down? I'm trying to watch figure skating.
I am so sorry. Good evening and welcome to an all-new Talks Machina. My name is Brian W. Foster and I will be your host for the evening. Tonight, we will be discussing Critical Role Campaign 2, Episode 5, The Open Road. We've got giveaways for GIF and Fan Art of the Week, and the following people will join me to answer your questions. Matthew Mercer. Oh, thank you. And Travis Willingham. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Thank you. Oh, wow. Happy Valentine's Day to me. All that and more tonight on Talks Machina. Roll those new Wendy Doodles. Wait, the chocolates. The chocolates. We're back. Welcome, friends. Welcome, Matt. Welcome, Travis.
Hey,
How are you guys?
awesome.
Good.
Got chocolates in them.
Life is like a box of chocolates.
Lord chocolates. Best kind.
Well, another week, another Talks Machina.
How's the world?
We have some announcements tonight. Our first is that issue 4 of the Vox Machina Origins comic book is out now.
Yeah.
Available via Dark Horse, Comixology, all your digital platforms where you can get your comics. Campaign 2, Episode 5 podcast is going to be available this Thursday. So, for you guys who love the podcast, now, thankfully, with the new campaign, every Thursday's episode is available the next Thursday already, which is awesome. Woo! So, Episode 5 this Thursday on the 15th. Also, we want to give a super special shout out to our friends at Crit Roll Transcript. Those guys are amazing. They caption all the episodes of Critical Role. Thank you guys so much for everything that you do for not only the hearing impaired community, but for people like me who like to watch the show with your voices off.
Right. Yeah.
Understand.
About right. Yeah. I think
Heard it's
so.
grading.
You heard it's degrading?
I mean, last episode was for some people.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I understand. Is anybody, do you guys have any other announcements? Anybody going anywhere anytime soon? Anything fun going on?
Laura and I will be in Seattle for Emerald City Comic Con.
There you go.
My goodness, when?
The first weekend in March 1st to the 3rd. We'll be there.
Any other cooler
Not
guests
for a while.
gonna be there?
Probably all of them, I think. But if you like, Critical Role and D&D, we'll be there.
Oh.
There you go. Boom.
And not really for our audience, but I'm sure someone out there would.
What
Yeah,
show is
pass it on to your friends. They're interested.
This is Fear the Talking Dead.
Oh.
Are you going to be anywhere besides here every Thursday night on Twitch and Alpha?
There are some few events coming up that I've announced on other episodes of Critical Role that off the top of my head I can't remember.
Oh,
So,
yeah. You need that paper.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know anymore. I just came in from like an hour of traffic after a session, so
Yeah,
I
you
haven't
came
eaten
in
today.
hot. You came in Sam hot.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Well, no, I still made it like before we started.
Oh, that's
so.
true. That's true. Plus, no one
But
is Sam
narrowly,
hot.
narrowly.
Well, let's begin.
Yeah.
Without further ado,
I do.
let us discuss Episode 5 of Critical Role Campaign 2, The Open Road. As always, we like to begin our discussions of the episode with some crit roll stats, courtesy of our friends. I don't know why I held this up. It doesn't say that on there.
No, it doesn't.
It says it on here. Courtesy of our friends at Crit Roll Stats on Twitter. Total number of attempted attacks made against Bo in episode 5, 11. Numbers that missed, 6, 54.5%.
Damn.
Monks, man.
She's slippery.
You miss 54% of the shots that you take but miss. Is that what they say?
Close enough. We'll go with that.
It works 60% of the time.
All the
Every
time.
time.
9, no. Number of times 9 was rolled this episode, 19. 19 nines.
That got like some weird witchcraft elements in there. at a certain
Straight up.
point. Like, all of us started looking at each other like,
Yeah.
I'm uncomfortable.
happening.
Number of times 9 or 9 were stated or yelled this episode, 41.
We can beat that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
beat that.
we really, really want to drive our audience and
disappointed.
ourselves away.
Yeah.
Also, just to placate the legal department here at Legendary Digital Networks, this shirt is a ripoff of the Punisher logo and is not the actual officially licensed Punisher logo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the old skull jacket.
it's a cartoon
combo.
skull. I'm pretty sure that they haven't,
I picked this up.
Scarecrow variant.
Yeah.
I got this actually in my gift bag when I was on season 5 of World's Dumbest Criminals. Matt.
I love that show.
It's pretty great.
You're welcome.
Your episode was good.
Thank you. Don't try to hop a fence in board shorts. Queso Commander has a question for Matt Mercer.
Yes,
the
Queso Commander.
DM of the first and second campaign.
That's true.
How happy were you that Brian believed your bit about not wanting to come on talks too early in the campaign? How were those 4 weeks of freedom?
Oh, they're beautiful. And you don't have perspective on how great they were until it's taken from you. So, like in this moment when you're asking me, it's really hitting me kind of hard. But yeah, I guess it's good to have some perspective and look back and,
I can't remember the last time I saw you in person. When did I see you last? Surely it was since the fireside chat, Matt.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
This is heavy.
That's
Yeah.
weird. Would you call it a bittersweet symphony?
I would, but we don't have the rights to that either.
Oh my God.
Here, we'll make sure we don't get a clip.
Another song that's always on at Matt Mersh's house when I go over there.
There's a lot of them we keep warm for you, Brian. A lot of them.
Have you enjoyed these Tuesday nights of preparing
freedom.
for Thursday? And
I have enjoyed them because it's given me pockets of time to play Monster Hunter World.
oh, how
I
is
should be
it?
watching.
I don't have it yet, but
It's really good.
Yeah.
It's really good.
I'm doing that whole thing where I'm trying to get through my backlog first.
See, my backlog just sits there and cries while I play Monster Hunter World.
know.
Like, deal with it.
Foster's still trying to complete Portal, so.
I'm working on Portal 1, and then I have Portal 2.
Ye old orange box.
Yeah. I just took in my 360 the other day to the Geek
Team
Squad. Let's move on.
Okay, yes, please.
Travis, a question from Mark Bull. How did it feel to have the super whisper session with your patron? What was going through your mind as everyone was walking out?
Panic.
Yeah.
Just
looked like
sheer panic. When everybody was walking out for Mauritius thing, I remember thinking, damn, I'm glad that's not me.
this early, right?
Somebody started to go, can everyone leave? But I was like, 1 out of 7. I got good chances, Travis.
Yeah.
Fuck!
The next week.
It's like literally the only time you don't hear your name called. I was bugging, only because it's such a I didn't know what was going to happen. Right,
Yeah.
I had no idea what that meant, so I was literally looking for places to put my hands as everybody was leaving. If you go back, I'm like just adjusting my hand position every 5 seconds, trying to find something that felt normal.
Yeah. I've had a few little whisper sessions in our home D&D game, and last Wednesday we had a game, and Larry, our DM, pulled me into the kitchen, and he was like, I'm just trying to freak Mary out, so let's just shoot the shit for like 2 minutes. And when we get back, just act really scared. And I was like, awesome, I'm totally down. And I got back, and Mary was just like, what is wrong with you? The whole rest of the game.
1,000-yard stick.
I think he just wanted
love
to
it.
fuck with people.
Opportunity missed.
More questions about your whisper session coming up. Matt, Kissed by Iron wants to know.
It's a good name.
It's a good name. Without giving away Ford's.
Yeah.
See,
The
you
O is
weren't here
silent.
2 weeks ago. I asked him on behalf of the critters who have been asking us for the correct pronunciation if it was Ford or Fjord, and he said yes,
Yeah, it's Fjord.
but also it's Ford.
Yeah, what?
See, Matt, without giving away Fjord's patron, how excited are you to delve into the development between a warlock and a patron for this campaign, something that we didn't have last campaign?
Oh, I'm very excited about it. I think it's we've done a little bit with some of the divine connection between a deity and their follower and such, and narratively, it's a lot more of a, I don't know how to put it, a friendship more than a patron relationship.
Interesting, okay.
It's the difference between, I believe in you, and as such, you grant me power. This is a deal. It is a deal that has been made between two entities that may or may not be considered beneficial to one side or the other, or at least can be tenuous throughout. And I love that dynamic of the Warlock class, and so I'm excited to explore where the facets of this relationship are.
Did you have to brush up on your Warlock stuff?
I was pretty
familiar with the
pretty
class
familiar with the
already.
Warlock stuff, just from eventually maybe one day trying to play one. But it's been kind of fun to kind of delve into that aspect and build out a unique.
No one wants a DM for you, Matt?
Oh, I mean, it's more of just a complete lack of free time.
That.
If that, I know.
That legendary mystical beast.
I know. One day.
I got a lot I can do, you guys.
Nope. Just went straight in.
The melody was good. We were going to come together for harmony at some
Yeah, I
point.
would wait for
but-
like the second chorus though. I didn't want to drag you guys
The
through it.
musical Valentine's Day episode of Talks Machina.
I think we're all in theme.
Oh my God.
But yeah, I'm excited.
Good.
Solid enough.
I missed you guys.
I'm so excited. Travis,
Oh, what?
12-year-old Nemesis wants to know.
Oh, man.
Oh, I think
by the way.
Oh, good. Yeah.
played against
Good thing
this
when I was younger.
person on Overwatch. Travis, how much did you decide about your patron or friend? And how much are you leaving up to Matt?
Yeah. If
Sinister laugh
you
from the
couldn't
DM.
tell from my expressions while he was answering that question just now, I know very little. I know. We had amazing lunches and
brunches?
and breakfasts about who that might potentially be and sort of where that arrangement might have come from or what might have led to that. So I know some about those aspects, but we completely left it blank as to who it is, what they want, what's
Yeah.
on the table. I legitimately have no idea, which is amazing.
Yeah.
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 I'm excited.
Are you? You seem excited. This is cool. Matt, speaking of you, our other guest, question from C. Putnam. Are these kind of one-on-one scenes primarily to keep the characters' backstories secret from the rest of the group? Because you want that stuff to develop organically between them, but for the story-wise, there are certain things that you need to connect with the player one-on-one on, right?
That's part of it.
Yeah.
I use those moments sparingly, and we did them a few times in the home game. And when they become more of a congealed group, and like with the Vox Machina story, it wasn't as much of a necessary experience in the latter half of our game because they were so much a unit, and they had shared so many of their secrets at this point that there wasn't really anything to be left up to it. So unless I felt it was very important to, like I did with Vax and the Raven Queen towards the end of the campaign, moments like that I felt it punctuates it better. For these, I was just considering what made sense for the character development. Like everyone hitting level 3, a lot of people were choosing various paths or archetypes for their classes, and some of them came naturally, some of them wouldn't be a secret, some of them even they're not quite sure what's happening. And Marisha's, for Bo, I felt needed a good story point that she could decide whether or not she wanted to share the information or not. And then I think same with Ford. They were both two people that it was kind of a cool way that I could bring in a tease for their storyline and bring in a narrative reason for the choices they make, or at least narrative direction as to why that path gets taken. And so, yeah, those are the two that made the most sense to me this early in the campaign. They may continue at different points in the story, but it's not going to be like a constant thing. It needs to work for the narrative.
Yeah. What if, let's see, we might have trouble getting the budget approved for this.
Oh no.
What if there was some sort of thing behind your DM screen where you could pull a series of levers and all of the people that you don't want to talk to fall into the floor?
Like remote control, all their
Yes.
chairs just go back?
Yeah, like they fall into the
That was
floor,
the show
like the Graham
from a
Norton
long time
show or
ago.
something. Yeah, something like that, where they fall into the thing, and then it's soundproof down there, and then when it's time for them to come back, then they go out an entrance and walk around the building and then come back into their
This is
seats.
very Willy Wonka's chocolate factory.
Yeah, I'm actually all about that. Can there be like small creatures down there, like ferrets and stuff?
For you to battle?
Yeah, like if you got to make it out,
You gotta earn meta
Yeah.
experience,
like some really
right?
angry trash pandas.
Make an animal handling check.
It's always pretty low.
Travis.
Get approved.
Cyberwolf 1201
Cyberwolf.
very excited about the answer to this question. Now, Dream Sequence F. Jord sounded a lot different than the Fjordy we've seen in Wildmount. I fucked with people and said that I was going to pronounce it Wildemount just to make you mad.
Wildemount?
But now that I'm face to face with you, I just can't.
Except you just did.
And I appreciate
I
it.
cower. Travis, Dream Sequence Fjordy sounded a lot different than the Fjordy we've seen in Wildmount. Was that a conscious decision? Well, yeah, it was a conscious decision.
Yes, it was. I've seen some questions on there.
It would be funny if you answered with, I actually completely forgot Ford's accent. And was like, oh shit, what did
I
he
saw
sound
that.
like?
They were like, I think in the excitement he just forgot where he was, and other voice came out. But yeah, that was not an accident.
Yeah, so I enjoyed seeing everybody freak out at that moment. I, of course, too, was freaking out, but
Not me, Brian. I was uncomfortable making the fans question what was going on. I like to sow a steady storyline. I like to give assurance and respite and calm to what is an otherwise chaotic experience. Wouldn't you agree,
Yeah.
Mr. Mercer?
that is an answer to Cyberwolf's question.
Yeah, there you go, Cyberwolf.
That was an answer.
Take that home with you and smoke it.
Matt, please don't smoke it. Don't smoke that answer. Spin Wheeling wants to know, Matt,
Yes?
during character creation, who in the cast surprised you the most with the type of character they wish to play?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Thank you, Spin Wheeling.
I would say Sam,
yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
And he keeps saying like Liam chose for him, and I've talked to them both. He asked Liam for a suggestion, and then Liam said, "You could do this," and he went, "I'm doing it." And then he's like, "Liam did this to me." It's really funny.
Yeah.
So like it
he
had,
does like to pin shit
Yeah,
on
on a
you.
certain level, it is a conscious choice by Sam, and as much as he tries to pass the buck.
Sure.
And it totally caught me off guard, partially because going from such an extremely option-reliant character like a bard, a rogue seemed a very interesting, different direction for him. And then of course the goblin rogue, and then of course this whole story. It was just like, this is a really cool character I wasn't expecting.
And a female character.
Yeah. So I was, of all of them, that one blindsided me a little bit from my expectations, and I was like, as soon as it got there, I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah, Sam, this is gonna
Yeah.
be amazing. So, and even then, none of us knew what voice he was going to pull out for that character. Even on our session 0, it was not that. It was not
What
that.
was it?
It was just a higher palette, kind of like, okay, right. We were trying things out, and people were finding their characters. And that first line in that first episode,
how
I was
it-
like,
That's why it landed the way it did.
Yeah.
Because,
Oh, man.
you were even
because he's
taken
an
back by
asshole.
it.
Because he does shit like that. He waits to make us all go, what? and that's Sam. That's Sam
comedy.
Riegel in a nutshell.
Thank the gods. Oh my gosh.
Oh man. There's a quick problem that I have to fix. Is Laura watching?
I don't know. Probably.
I have to turn this to where she likes to see the lights.
Oh yeah.
And I'll get a text that says like, Brian, the lights weren't facing me. Travis,
Probably saying thank you right now.
question from RJ_Phillips.
Lupin?
How much does the new Taco Bell Fiordita Crunchwrap Supreme know about the meaning of that dream? Told you it was gonna be a long night for you.
How much does Ford?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Fjord knows.
This is gonna go on for 100 episodes.
I don't know what you're talking about. he has he has context for when it was, what it meant. But beyond,
Wait a second. Is Ford the country guy and Fjord the British guy?
You know, Brian.
Did I just solve one of Critical Role's most recent but important mysteries?
I feel like that would just be giving me far too much credit. No, he understood what it was that the dream sequence was and what it meant and how it applied. But I think the words that were said are still a great mystery. There's still a lot to be revealed about that, and I only know that because I didn't know any of that shit was going to happen. So,
Did you go back and rewatch it? Because I know sometimes, you don't
yeah.
retain enough of the
well, like
information.
right after the show, I ran over to Matt. And I was like, "What were the words?" And I wrote them down. And I looked at them, and then I start trying to do like Da Vinci Code, like moving letters around and shit, and that doesn't do anything. And then I just went back and watched it for your delivery too, and like how things were said, and it's in the moment it's terrifying. You get like the tunnel vision when you stand up too fast, when Mercer's giving you the full blast of the DM chair. And it's like really good storytelling. You're trying to fight the TV face of just completely forgetting that you're listening, and then also trying to respond intelligently. But I've gone back and studied it, and I've made my own theories and stuff, and I had like this own insanity room back at the house. It's covered in red string.
Yes, I've seen it. I've seen it.
It's really great.
Covered in barnacles now.
Who do you think helped hang up all the red
Having
strings?
barnacles shipped in from the coast. Like, sir?
Barnacles.
Barnacles?
Well, we're going to give away some free shit at the show. The art and cosplay of these new characters by the community are already blowing everyone away.
It's
as we have
crazy.
seen.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
Really.
So much remarkable talent out there.
So good.
For sure. We are very happy to continue giving away extremely expensive Wormwood products and some hard to get Critical Role merch for our GIF and fan art of the week. Up first, it's GIF of the week. Our winner for episode 5 of Thank You Max of the new campaign was sent in by Casey Howe, aka @-0 with an X.
Yep.
Let's take a look. This is what they did with Sam's green shirt, his green screen
I
shirt.
could live in it forever.
It just goes on.
I don't think Laura's realized that
Forever.
she passes through the armpit.
She does.
She's
She sort of passes through the breast and then the armpit and down to the liver.
I'm pretty sure, like at the moment of death, when the DMT molecules release from the brain, that's what you see.
Yes.
Yeah, when your soul leaves the
Yeah,
body.
yeah.
The ounces, what was it, 21 ounces?
When brain death occurs, it's just
Dude.
infinite Sam into the universe.
I gotta say, we did a special little contest for that gifs and stills of Sam's shirt and the green screen, and you guys did some magnificent work on those. It was really hard to choose a winner. My second, one of my other favorites was the one of somebody superimposed the picture of Sam and Liam kissing at Mary's party that I took.
Right? Yeah.
Yep.
Congrats to you, Casey.
Yeah.
You have won this Black Walnut Adventurer Arsenal.
Oh, the new stuff.
From our friends at Wormwood. Now check this out. Look at, do you see, guys? Not enough credit goes to Selena, our camera person, for how quickly and amazingly she makes my hands look
But can
lotion.
she track your jerky hand movement?
Here's what you got. You've got this black walnut box. You roll your dice in here, okay? It's got a beautiful leathery surface on the bottom, just like me. In here, you have this guy. When you open this guy, holy fuck! Look at all those treasures. You got your dicey, you got your pen pencil, you got your eraser. You could put your little mini here if you want to.
Ooga.
It's all magnetized for your pleasure, his, hers, theirs. It comes with this jock strap made of premium beef leather
Yep.
from the raw hides of Helena, Montana, and that is yours, Casey.
Awesome.
You can submit your gifts for our weekly contest by emailing them to submit@talksmachina.com. Moving on. Matt,
Yes.
I'm starting to enjoy this job.
I'm glad. Finally.
54, how many episodes have we done, Max?
12?
55 episodes in, I'm starting to enjoy it.
Good.
I just put in my 2
It
weeks.
says 3.
But we'll see. Danny says 3, 53. Thank you, Danny. Take her word over that, mouth breathers. Zach Hitzeroth has a question for Matthew Mercer.
Yes.
What would you have done if multiple people selected the same class? Was it pure chance that no one chose the same one, or did you and the others take measures to avoid this? I'm sure it was like it was the first campaign.
I feel like there was some communication between you guys to make sure there wasn't too much overlap.
There was, yeah.
Because I mean, to a certain extent, I mean, unless you guys are conscious about making, because you can't take a class and go in 2 very different directions
Yes.
and not have, extreme overlap. But I think everyone also wanted to make sure there wasn't a situation where 2 people were filling out the exact same role to the T.
Yeah.
So I think they were talking with each other and making sure that wouldn't happen. But I've had games with multiple of the same class at the table, and they just designed them or took the path in different directions, and it worked out great.
Because you can even end up with different spells and different like.
Oh, yeah.
feats and, yeah, I guess that's true. We,
Yeah,
were,
'cause,
we
like-
were worried about overlap, but
No, with a wizard you could take 2 different schools, or whatever your arcane tradition is, and then focus in different, different types of spells you each take. So one's more of like a control, enchantment illusion-based wizard. The other's more of a battle mage with the damaging spells. You can do, even just for the clerics, depending on which domain you choose, you get access to different spells and different abilities.
Yep.
Like you can find a lot of variety in the design.
now
Yeah.
I know everything about D&D, second only to Brian Wayne Foster. But
Right.
have those 4 schools of wizardry always been there? The transmutation and the other ones.
Yes, and there's
Everyone's
it's
been
more
there?
than 4. There's quite a few.
That's what I meant. The more than 4 schools.
Right? Yeah, totally. But yeah, they've
Have
always
another
been there.
chocolate.
I will.
I don't know if there's, I can't remember because I start drinking around 10 a.m. But if there's any questions about spell casting, having more spell casting heavy people this campaign than the last, that's got to be fun and interesting and maybe a little bit, a lot more probably for you to track on your end with all that stuff because a lot of this, but I'm sure you know the spells pretty well, right?
A lot of them, but even I could use brushing up. I mean, once again, like the responsibility lies on the players to keep track of what
Correct.
they have.
Yeah. Sam?
I know. And right now, because we're starting at a lower level with this, as opposed to jumping in halfway through when we change, systems, everyone will organically be able to know what they have at their disposal a lot better than I think the last go around. Plus, we've learned a lot from the last campaign. Rules that have kind of been drilled into us. We've gotten better and better at remembering.
Yeah, like Hunter's Mark.
Yeah.
And to give some love to D&D Beyond, that having that right there and you just tap it, it shows the whole description and whether it's
It's huge.
concentration and how long. I was like, oh man, no more cards. Like it's just great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
Mercer-
guys are using iPads, right? Mm-hmm. By Apple. Now they send free ones to places if you name drop them, right?
Oh yeah, I think so.
That would have been good to know before we bought them.
I think they're actually iPads that are attached to Teslas.
Oh, yes. I know. They're the iPads that come in the Tesla.
Right.
You guys just, when you get here, you pull it out of the Tesla.
Yeah, the Tesla. Which
They'll
model-
eventually
which model
send
is
you.
it? The Tesla.
It's the Model T.
Not Model 3,
It's
that's
the
not
Model
coming out.
T1000. I have the T1000.
The T1000?
The Tesla, the T is for Tesla 1000.
that one
I've-
kills you.
I have the,
I'm not sure,
the
though.
Tesla ED209.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I have the 86753. Travis,
That derailed.
save us from my decrepit brain with an answer to this question from Tenny Bear.
Teddy bear?
Tenny Bear,
Oh,
T-E-N-I Bear. When giving Fjord or Born on the Fjord of July
Yeah.
the sailor background, did you foresee the wave? This joke is pun heavy.
Okay.
When giving Fjord the sailor background, did you foresee the wave of seaman jokes that would be coming in your direction? And are you salty about them or happy to go with the flow?
Oh, that's another multi-layered
Danny,
slow clap.
is this your alternate screen name?
I could never create such beauty.
Oh God.
Man, that's really
That's
really
not
good.
true.
Tenny bear.
Yeah, that's some Hemingway right there.
You know, I love me a good semen joke. Just like the next guy or gal.
You know, something that people may not know about you, though, is that you do love water. You
I do.
You like to go fishing off the coast of Alaska.
Right? Yeah, I'm a big
this
water
serious?
baby.
Yeah.
I did a lot of triathlons and surf and swim and
Yeah.
all that stuff. Being a seaman, however, not something I have tremendous experience with, but I love the jokes. And
Yes.
I expect them to be refreshed and come anew every week. If they don't, I'll be heavily disappointed in Sam, and I shall call him on such
Yeah.
expressions.
Yeah. Well, Marisha this week had the good one, right?
She did! I mean, she dunked on us.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I mean,
Yeah.
that was just out of the blue, too, like the 3-second timing and everything.
The more
Oh.
well, the more comfortable each of you gets with your characters too. It's been kind of fun to watch you all kind of pop into your own, and each of you kind of getting a little more of a grasp of where their brain lives, and kind of the pacing of your inter party conversations. Like as each episode progresses, it's been fun to watch you guys get more comfortable and shit like that happening. It's
I
been
can
great.
also say I am disappointed in myself for not even 1 second realizing that those jokes would come picking a sailor background. I was like, oh, that fits perfectly with my story. I love water plus the backstory, great. When that happened, I was like, oh, you fool.
Realize,
You fool.
do you realize?
Yep, I didn't.
Matt,
Yep.
do we have an estimate? And I know we don't like to guess what's going to happen on the show coming up. We don't like to speculate too much about what's going to happen on the show coming up. But, and I guess, Travis, you can answer this too, but do we know about, we're on episode 6 coming up this week. Do we know about what episode Taliesin will decide if there's an accent or not?
Oh, T.
Oh, I know. He's trying.
I know, I like when he goes with the Irish direction, but then I feel like maybe he slips back into just being, he also has like 100 jobs.
It's a tough
There is
one at
that
that
too.
table too. Like that first episode when we had like 12 accents, including everything that you were doing.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry.
Like, just a regular English accent, I was starting to get all confumbled to like, it was tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like I said, these characters will take a while to sink into, especially since some players challenge themselves specifically to use this as an opportunity to get better at certain dialects or accents.
I mean, Liam's gotten better since the first episode. Now
Yeah.
he sounds like,
Yeah, I think he made a choice before episode 4, and he just like fucking went.
yeah, I love that.
He was
I love
trying to
that
do like a half thingy, and he just went.
Yeah.
I think part of it's comfort, and I think part of it too is deciding whether or not you're picking a specific dialect or relaxing into the idea that it isn't an Irish accent. There's no Ireland and
Right, exactly.
Exandria.
You're right.
So however you horribly mangle and fuck up an existing, Earth accent or dialect, it's
Right.
totally accurate to
Yeah.
Exandria. Shut up.
Andrea, baby.
That's what I loved about Travis doing a Southern accent is that there is no Southern, that wouldn't be maybe Southern where they're.
Right. Well, I think dialects and accents can help because it gives you a sense of regionalism that is immediately identifiable for us. West Country and Southern works well when you think of more rural, more people of the earth type lifestyle, since that's what we associate a lot of that with.
Yeah.
Whereas when you think of more erudite, when you think of people that are more well learned, classically, Hollywood's taught us to consider the upper crust Brit.
Yes, of course.
So the certain things do have a utility when it comes to shortcuts in storytelling.
Pip, pip,
Fuck you both.
pip, pip.
So it does have a purpose in some cases, but overall, accents can be whatever you want to in this world.
I'm just making fun.
Yeah,
of
I know.
out here.
Like I mix accents all the time. There are a lot of NPCs that are all like take 2 dialects and kind of mash them together because they want to make it sound unique or different or exotic based on where they are in the world. So I take something that technically doesn't exist or at least isn't very well known in this
Yeah.
place and mix it to make it sound just different and unique.
Oh, I think we all remember in episode 61 of the first campaign when you said, and then Gilmore says, "Hey guys!"
That's right. That's right.
Well, he forgot Gilmore's voice.
Russians.
It was a choice. It was a choice.
Okay, another question from Matt from Craig Holder. What was behind your decision to go with milestone experience for the players versus, experience points?
For me, the main reason for that was experience points work well for rewarding players that are used to an experience system. Pardon me, or need some sort of a quantification for their advancement against the other players. It worked. It was a really good tool and utility, and still is in a lot of ways when you have groups that are somewhat competitive within the group, or if people don't want to feel like if somebody is being rewarded the same level they are for not being as present or as active in the game, then experience points are a good way to kind of keep those variations, and it's worked really well for me for most of my gaming life.
Is this game less competitive than as far as the players with each other than some of the other ones you've done?
I think so because our group is a little more narratively based,
Yeah.
and they're all about the collaborative storytelling element of it more than they are the
Getting
haha, I'm more
killed.
powerful than you.
Yeah.
That's not always the case either. Like experience points are also just, especially if you grew up with them, it just feels good to have them in the game.
Yeah.
And so I continued with them. But the more we've been playing together with this particular party and these players, I felt that as opposed to having to, do taxes throughout the year by using the Excel documents that I had for every player's individual experience values at every session we'd run with them dated and who was at advanced which point and who was at what threshold, it was just much easier for me to not worry about that and all of us just level up whenever the storyline felt that you had reached a new milestone.
Yeah, I dig
That's
that. We all kind of like the idea that we'd all like sort of graduate into new things together, right? Instead
Yeah.
of being staggered or left behind.
Yeah.
That's the thing too, because because a lot of us can't make a session. It's not because they don't care. It's because either something came up, or it's a situation they can't control. Like Ashley, who has to spend a lot of time in New York filming. I don't want her to feel like,
Spot,
yeah, I know.
Hashtag Hulu's Blindside.
yeah. So, but I don't want to feel like I'm punishing her because she has no control over the situation.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a big deal last
Punish
campaign.
enough being with me.
Well, case in point. So yeah, I felt milestone experience was just a better choice for this camp.
There's no XP at home.
I like that. I think that's a cool way to do it. And it sounds like the less time you have to spend on a fucking spreadsheet, the better.
Oh yeah. Well, I was always keeping track whenever a cool moment would happen or someone would do something cool. I'd make a hatch mark and I had like an equation for what that would equate to in experience points based on the level. And I just was really excited at the prospect of not having to worry about that.
Heck yeah. Now you can focus more on the story and
Seaman jokes.
semen.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Question for Travis from Argonaut1314. Your surprise upon meeting your new patron or friend seemed quite genuine. Was that because you didn't expect it so soon, or did you not choose a patron up front when choosing the Warlock class?
A little both, actually. I don't think anyone is super eager to get to their backstory the fastest. But that's also because, like Matt said, we're all like settling in. You're figuring out what you sound like, how you relate to other people. You also start to set up little things with each character, right? Whether consciously or intentionally or just accidentally, things that happen in the game. And then for something like that to happen, I knew where that put me immediately, and so it was like, okay, here we go. I have to address this part of it, but also because I still don't know what or who it is.
Oh, okay.
And with the new Hexblade class, we had like so many conversations about what it is, word by word in the description, what it could also be, and what we could make it ourselves. And Matt has such a great mind about like how to change it and make it unique. And he was taking all of the backstory elements that I wanted to incorporate, and then of course he just goes, "Okay, thank you. I'll take that, and I'll let you know when it's ready." Right? That's the best part. You're like, "Oh God, oh no!" So he went and made this thing, and so I'm just getting to see it at the same time as everybody else, and I have my theories, just like the rest of the world. So
That's got to be so fun to creatively, collaborate on doing something like that neither of you know exactly what it's going to look like when it's fleshed out, because you're coming to the table with your tenants and you're coming to the table with your tenants, and you each have a piece of it, but you need each other to make it work. But then you also, the unexpected part of it is also part of the fun, right? Did I just describe Dungeons and Dragons?
I think you may have.
it's pretty good.
Yeah, that's
Someone
when
get this man a page.
Flip that.
it is one of my favorite facets of not just character creation, but building the game with the players is the collaborative elements behind the scenes. When you're designing your character, which elements to flesh out, which elements to leave open, and then surprise the players.
Yeah.
Nothing's cooler than, from a player standpoint, in my perspective, than defining the goals and the reasons your character is the way they are and why they're on these journeys or these quests, and then to discover more facets of your character's history or their drive or their goals or what their eventual destiny is in this world. And so as a player, as soon as those moments hit in the story, not only are you more engaged, but it's like it's a gift to the player. And so for me, it's my way to kind of gift to my players to kind of thank them for being so invested in the story.
Yeah.
And so I get to give this to them and help them along this cool journey.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Oh, it ratchets it up 1,000%. Whether it was that, like second by second, just experiencing that interaction for the first time, or in the first campaign when we finally came across the Goliaths, and I think my reaction was something like, "Oh fuck me!" Like I wasn't ready for it. I was good just adventuring and not addressing all my shit. So you instantly become so much more invested, and it's so much more real. I'll never forget Dallison going like, "It's different, isn't it, baby? It's real now." I was like, "It is. It's so much different."
Oh man, Matt.
Yes.
Speaking of Taliesin, Wildebeest has a question. How do you feel about everyone being so guarded with their backstories? We saw Taliesin's reaction when you revealed a little of his. Are you trying to expedite the reveal or just messing with them?
No, I'm not expediting it. I'm thinking about what comes across naturally.
Yeah.
I mean, you can only guard your backstory so much, like in Taliesin's case, when the whole first arc of the beginning part of this, introduction revolves around him and the people he's been traveling with for 2 years. So I think he did a very good job being as guarded as he has been. But it's also fun to pull full threads, partially because it makes him nervous,
Yeah.
which is always fun as a DM.
Yes.
But also it leaves a little more of a breadcrumb trail for mystery for the rest of the players.
Yeah.
That as the story progresses, you begin to try and put the threads together, have your own theories both in and out of the game. So yeah, I think it's great. Guarded as they will be, storylines will come out naturally, whether the players decide to divulge or whether the scenarios kind of begin to pry that box open on its own naturally.
Yeah.
We'll see. I really enjoy seeing which way it goes.
Yeah. How much time, hopefully the honeymoon you didn't work on stuff, but did you have any time off in between when campaign 1 ended and all of our wrap-up stuff and all that, and honeymoon and all that, and then did you have any time off, or did you just go straight into prepping for campaign 2?
Technically, I would say I was supposed to have time off.
Yeah.
But no, it's all I could think about. Like,
Yeah.
Because I knew where it wanted to be, and I knew I wanted to prepare a lot because I wanted to jump in with a good, strong level of immersion. And I wasn't going to really tell how it was going to start until everyone started making their characters. I wanted to kind of build as much loosely as I could to feel comfortable. And when I get in that mindset, I tend to disappear in my office for long periods of time. So the break was half and half. It was half and half. For Christmas, everyone's like, how was your 2-week break for the holidays? I was like, I was like half relaxing and half chained to my
You're like,
computer.
it's Christmas already?
Yeah, I know, seriously.
Yeah.
Even on our honeymoon, like me and Marisha getting massages, and every massage I discovered is like, that's my creative brain space for D&D, apparently.
Oh, interesting.
Like as soon as massage would
Eyes
start,
closed and just.
Because
Yeah,
when they massage your spine and stuff, all of the mescaline from all of the years.
right, just building up, it's released into the system, it's great. But like, I don't take care of myself enough as it is, so like the rare times that I allow myself to get a massage, because I really enjoy, as like a stress relief thing, now all I could do is it goes into a meditative stance for D&D world building. And it's like our whole honeymoon, I was almost craving the next massage because I'd be like, okay, so I've built out these 3 cities and I have like this faction design and I have like a whole other class idea and oh shit, I'm supposed to be relaxing, but
Do you ever bring in the Dwarven Forge maps and show Wanda and the Seuss and say like, this is where they're going this week?
I may
Remember
have to.
I told you they have to do that?
I
They
want
got
to
the
do
little
that
holes
now.
in the headrests, right?
Yeah, they have the hole in the headrest,
You
and
just
that's
put it
where he's
underneath
down
and
there
you're
writing.
like looking at it.
Just assembling pieces underneath.
Just strategizing.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's great.
Jeez. Yeah, he sent us that first sheet of paper on the Dwendalian Empire. When that arrived, we were like, oh, Dwendalian Empire, and there was a paragraph. And I was like, oh, this is not. And,
Oh, God.
Oh, Jesus, it started.
Yeah.
Like, it was this whole thing.
I wanted to give them all just a little bit of kind of general backstory about the regions. Then when they jumped in the game and created their character, they kind of had an idea of where they might start and what kind of history they would know loosely about the scenery. That way they don't like 7 characters that grew up here, but also are discovering, oh, this is a city and this is a faction.
Yeah.
I wanted to at least have them give them some very basic history.
Which was good because Sam read it approximately 0 times.
I was going to say, there's no way Sam made it
Probably.
through the subject line of that email.
No, he gave his backstory to me, and then I just wrote his backstory into the world.
Okay.
To be fair, that's how the Briarwoods happened, so we'll see.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. The writing druid, Travis, has a question for you. What does fjord or
Forged.
your consideration?
Oh, no!
Yeah.
Oh, no. What does Fjord think of Jester and her silliness?
Oh, God.
We know how Travis feels.
Yeah, I love Jester. She's great.
Great character.
I think he is like bemused and in awe of her joyfulness, right? Just her positivity and her attitude and her bubbly nature, right? I feel.
Especially as such a contrast to Laura's personality.
I mean, yeah, just the dragon inside. Is she here? Okay.
She's not. She turned off when she saw the globe was off.
That's right. Yeah, I can't watch it. I think coming from where Ford's coming from and having traveled with her in the beginning, I think she's the first person that he's reached out to in a while, coming from his old life, and also someone that uses magic. So he's looking how magic interacts with her, how she uses it, how she looks at life, and the way that she uses it in different situations. And I think he's like, kind of taking stock of that and keeping track. Same thing with Caleb, right? I think he's very curious about how people use their abilities and whether they're precious or if they are overused or maybe disregarded and things like that. But I think overall, he really admires the fact that she's so positive in a world that is otherwise pretty fucking crazy by all other accounts. And I think he really admires either her character, I guess, to keep that sort of outlook on life, or maybe is just curious about what it is that's made her decide to live and be that way so happily. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. As a cleric too. Yeah. We have more questions, but first, it's time to give away more food.
Yeah.
Our next giveaway is for you fans
Free
that
spirit.
create and send in incredible art for moments during Critical Role. It's time for fan art of the week. This has become the shittiest part of my job, is picking a fan art.
don't
winner,
envy it,
because
man.
we have so
Yeah.
many more people now submitting that have come on for the new campaign.
It's crazy.
So
You need like a Letterman top 10 or something. It's
I know.
bananas
Well, we don't
every
have
week.
enough wormwoods.
Yeah.
I only have so many inches of wood.
Yeah, I understand. I understand.
This week's fan art winner was sent in by Weston T. Jones, AKA at Weston T. Jones. Let's take a look.
Oh, I gotta.
Yeah.
I mean, you and I had a text thread right afterwards of the ones that would pop up, and this guy was right on there.
Zoom.
Damn.
So cool.
I love the tatters too.
God, so many artists did such great renditions of that moment. It was
did.
just like this echo throughout the week, and every piece was incredible. And it's so good.
Yep.
He did. Yeah, it's hard to pick him, but luckily Liam is such a great curator of the art, and he puts together the slideshow and all the stuff. I'm sure there's a better name for it than the slideshow. Thank you to everyone who submitted. Congrats to you, Weston. You have won also this Black Walnut Adventure Arsenal from our friends at Wormwood that we showed you earlier.
Does that one have stuff inside it too, Brian?
It's the same goddamn one. Can you believe it? No, I actually have two, but I ain't opening this one.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
It's heavy and I'm tired. Make sure to visit our friends at Wormwood Gaming, and at wormwoodgaming.com. Moving on.
Art reel. That's what it should be called.
Art reel.
The art reel.
Yes.
Thank you, the sizzle reel. Lucas Griffin has a question for you, Matt.
Yes, Lucas. What do you ask?
How are you dealing with Laura throwing you constant curveballs with Jester's behavior? Is the Traveler happy with how much fun she is having?
I'm loving the curveballs. Jester
Yes.
it's such a unique departure from the very like collected and controlled figure that Vex always has been throughout like her entire journey. It's been fun to watch her completely let loose and be this kind of this agent of chaos. As far as the Traveler's reaction to her behavior, I think that may come up in the story as it progresses.
Oh,
I
nice.
don't want to spoil anything, but
Yeah.
you know, every cleric in some way, shape, or form have allowed themselves to be an instrument of their deity. They've allowed themselves to be a representation in the world of the beliefs that they've taken on. So based on what that cleric's behavior and influence and decisions are, and that affect the world around them, can very much adjust the how their deity looks upon them, or whatever entity they follow. Because people have asked me, they're like, well, I don't see the Traveler anywhere in the Taldore Guide in the Pantheon of Exandria. And and I said before, like, there are many, many powerful entities all across D&D, let alone Exandria, that can lend their power or be in a similar relationship to like a cleric or a warlock patron, as well. Like, warlocks don't necessarily always have to connect with a demon prince or something like that. It can be all different types of creatures. So the Traveler is a unique entity in that it's not one of the confirmed gods of the Exandria pantheon. And we'll see where that plays out down the road. But yeah, her behavior is very interesting, and I'm excited to see how it's going to perpetually
Derail.
fuck up all of your guys' plans.
Yes.
Probably.
Yep.
It's gonna be great.
I now know what it's like to be on the other side of that mirror.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
Yeah, she's the grog of the group.
Yeah.
She's the one who everyone's like, all right, we're all doing this, right? And she goes, nope.
I asked her, I was
Yeah.
like, do you have a filter? And she was like, not so much. And I was like, that's a beautiful thing. I don't know if she said it.
That's amazing.
I love it.
No.
I love it. I'm excited.
Oh God, the Jester questions just keep coming, guys. At RB Rocky wants to know, Travis, did Jester decide to follow Fjord to the academy, or did Fjord ask her to come?
Oh, that's a good question. Fjord definitely asked Jester if she was traveling north and what she knew about magic. And I think in our conversations, Jester asked Fjord where he was going, and he said that he had heard about the Soltris Academy, which I said right.
You did right.
Boom!
Nice.
I only drill it every night.
You can go.
I can think.
Yep, I'm gonna go. Good job.
And it was more of those things where I think it perked up Jester's imagination. She was like, "Yeah, I want to go there too." So we just headed out for it.
Nice. Wow.
Yeah. So I don't think she's ever been. I know she's never been. And I think he asked her if she wanted to go, and she was like, "Yeah, sounds good." It was just along for the ride, and he was grateful for it. Yeah. Otherwise, he would have been El Solo.
Dang. Now is that Spanish? Forsaken Grundle is here, Matt.
Oh, Forsaken
With the
Grundle.
question for
Welcome
you.
back.
What would have happened if the group had decided to rob and or kill the caravans in the latest episode? Would you be comfortable DMing a villainous campaign if the players took it that way?
I mean, there are always consequences to your decisions. Based on the way that the players had developed their characters, I didn't foresee them blatantly murdering the caravan. And I don't think they would have done that. If they decided to, then it would have definitely led to them eventually probably being hunted and brought to justice, and then them dealing with either fleeing from the law.
Service.
Oh yeah, just like Gustav, forever. But I mean, it's always a possibility. But the caravan was more there to show that there were other people traveling in the world, that this was a breathing space, and if they had the opportunity, if they wanted to really stop it, they could have had conversations with the people involved there, what they're doing, possibly had some trading, or purchasing scenario. Their caravan. Also might have learned a little bit of what to expect up north. Like it was there as a general possible encounter if they decided to engage, and they did not ultimately, or at least didn't do so until it was too late, and by then didn't do well enough to give them a reason to stop on their path to these strangers and all crowded in one cart with one horse just going up north.
It's so tough. You run it across the floor like a cat toy, and we're all looking at it like, should we pounce on it? Is there a vestige in one of those
I know,
carts?
it's fun.
What is it? What's in there?
It's fun.
Are there Mario coins? I don't know.
Yeah, and
We're gonna let it go. We're gonna let it go. We're gonna let it go.
Well, when you're new to D&D too, or like when you're playing in the higher levels like we were in the last campaign, it's hard for the players to not get in the pattern of thinking everything that shows up is important.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm trying to, throughout this campaign, emphasize that isn't always the case.
Yeah.
Sometimes things are just living in the world. Sometimes things are dead ends in an investigation. Sometimes things are just cool little nuances that you can explore for a moment, get a little bit out of the lore, the world, and continue on your merry way. Some things may be important,
Makes it harder.
I like it.
No one more interested tonight in your answers than Travis, who has been literally sitting
I'm
there
like
going,
leaning in.
Yeah, I mean,
Capturing this on VHS at home, Brian. Don't
yes,
take them off.
VHS.
that's part of the conscious choice for this campaign. Is I wanted to make it feel a little more of like a living, breathing world. I'm still learning as a DM.
Oh, because the first one wasn't?
Well, in the sense that at the higher levels, the storyline becomes so kind of we have to go here, we have to go here. The threats are so large and so looming. There isn't a whole lot of time to just wander and explore.
Yeah.
And so I want the first beats of this campaign to fall more in that place.
Yeah, I get it. That's a good choice creatively.
I hope.
I'll let you know.
Yeah,
Travis, Random Indie wants to know, Fjord or Travis B. Fjord coming with this answer. Ryan Green and I wrote at dinner wrote an entire list of these, and we will every week before the show.
Good.
Shout out to Hydro Snail. Travis, Ford is sounding and acting more and more like a chameleon with each episode. Do you enjoy getting to pull out every accent in your wheelhouse? Which is exactly 2.
Yeah, that's about the extent of the wheelhouse. Actually, if I'm being honest, I am in no way a Mercer. I have like 2 or 3 shoddy accents that will wobble in and out of accuracy very, very frequently. I am loving it just because of sort of the backstory that's attached to those choices, and yeah, it's. I was who was I saying it to? I think I was talking to Chris outside at dinner. I was like, I sat inside of an idiot for 3 years, so it was just just collecting ideas of things to do to fuck with people. So
Yeah.
I'm about all out of tricks, but
I'm all out of tricks.
I am enjoying.
I'm so lost without you.
Oh wow! I was gonna say I'm really enjoying watching you kind of unleashed in the sense of being able to intelligently take over a scene and use your character's confidence and wit to win moments. Like 3 episodes ago or 2 episodes ago with the guard.
Yeah.
I was like, this is something that Travis has never been able to do. He's seen other people do it, and he finally got to have this moment, and he succeeded, and it was clever, and I loved it. And watching your face light up every moment, I was like, this is why I love D&D.
It's so
that
good.
right there.
It's so good.
Made me so happy.
And just having language that that moves freely, and it just feels really, really, really good. It's fun. It makes it really exciting.
I love Grog. I love everything you did with Grog, but I'm really enjoying this new character's path. I think it's great.
Yeah, there's a lot more mystery to him than meets the eye.
Yeah.
Matt, rescue us from that accent.
No, please show us your dialect brigade,
Irish
please.
Meets the eye.
I am not a voice actor.
Will you ask this question in an accent?
You
All
beat
right.
me to it.
Oh, good. That's good. Good, good. Anyone.
Pick it.
Matt,
Yes.
wait, what should I do? Should I do, okay.
Come on, governor.
Matt, how much playtime
Yes.
did jesters detect evil and good spell shave off your initial plan for the first leg of the campaign? That's what Arsqueef sounds like.
Oh, there.
British.
Now we know.
He's a British guy.
We've answered it.
Yeah,
He left me a
yeah,
voicemail
yeah.
the other day, and he was like,
Nationality uncovered.
top of the morning to ya! How much playtime did jesters detect evil and good spell shave off your initial plan for the first leg of the campaign?
I wouldn't say it shaved off any time. Honestly, I didn't know how long it was going to take. I kind of set up all these pieces in different places where information could be gathered or could be gleaned. I had a bunch of information that could have been gleaned from like Bosun or Gustav in the prison. A lot of information that could have been gathered from various members of the circus, members of the guard. There were a lot of different sources of information that I wasn't sure which way they were going to go. And that was one of the smartest choices that they had based on their, difficulty they had finding a threat earlier in that episode. Because once you knew that there was a fiend on the radar, it was like, okay, something's not right here.
Yes.
I tried to put enough of red herring and enough of, enough doubt as to Kyle being a villainous character. And even then, when you guys finished it, there's a lot of information and threads that are open. Like that story is still, technically that's still wide open.
How the hell did he get there? How long was he able to avoid detection?
There was a lot of things.
yeah.
A lot of things that may never come up. We'll see. I like it. Not everything gets tied in a bow.
I know.
That's true.
So when we do the end of this campaign wrap up, I'll be able to tell you guys what happened there.
Yeah, that's don't even say. Travis, Counterspell wants to know. Counterspell. Out of all of Fjord's current companions, who is most interesting to him / who is he most curious to know more about?
I think it changes weekly. It was Caleb for a long time, just because he had just such a great display of magic and seemed so shut off. Right now, I think it's a little bit more Molly, just because all Molly's ever done is lie to him, and the lie that Ford caught early on in the campaign. And he hasn't asked much else since. I mean, I think he knows he was obviously with the carnival, but why and who and where did he come from? He's not really sure. Bo is also not being super revealing, but it's just coming back with her face looking like 5 miles of dirt road. So, it's like, there's gotta be an answer for that. So I think those 3 are still the ones that he's still trying to figure out the most of. I think Ford feels pretty protective of,
Jester.
yeah, a Jester and not, both.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I'll start maybe trying to pick away at Molly this week if I can.
5 miles of dirt road. Wasn't that the name of one of Matt Colville's romance?
I thought that wasn't that the name of one of your first bands?
It was, yeah.
5 miles of dirt
That,
road.
Yeah.
that was his Kenku love
Yeah.
story.
Kenku
Hey,
Love.
one of the better books of 2008. Yeah.
That's true.
yeah,
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. 10 years
I
old.
actually,
now.
I believe you for
That's his
2
next
seconds. I was
Kickstarter.
like,
Yeah,
really?
it's his next Kickstarter.
Matt, 283 Elise wants to know, if the party didn't push on through the night, would they have found the town partially destroyed by the gnolls, or would they always have gotten to the town right as the attack started?
That was why I asked them if they wanted to push on, because if they didn't, they would have. They would have probably. Whoever was on first watch would have watched it burn from a distance, and by the time they arrived, the gnolls would have left, or they arrived the next morning, and it would have been this like smoldering cinder for that quarter of the city that was set fire, and then it would have been them asking questions about what happened. It still would have led them in the same general direction if they decided to pursue whatever this assault was, because they could very well have been like, "Oh, that sucks, man."
Yeah.
Anyway, on to Sadash.
Yeah.
Which was something I prepare for as well, and we'll see how how the next session goes. But that was why I asked that question. Was like, do you want to push on or do you want to camp here? Because if you camp here, you're probably going to approach to a partially burnt all field.
Yeah.
Have some fresh guilt.
Yeah.
One of the things I like to do during Thursday night Critical Role, if I get the chance to watch it live in the comfort of my dark house where I drink alone, is I like to throw away a lot of the jokes that would never make the cut for this show into the Twitch chat, because the Twitch chat already is like, in Indiana Jones when he opens up the thing and there's all the snakes in there? That's the Twitch chat on Thursday nights, let's be honest. So I like to throw some of
Why did
my
it have to be Twitch chat?
shittier jokes. So once we realized the gnolls were definitely a force to be reckoned with, I said, "Oh, these are Beyonce gnolls."
Oh.
And then I got banned. I got banned for 30 days for that one comment
Wow.
by one of our own people.
Oh, did you really?
You guys
One
are
of the
doing a
mods?
great job. Mods, you're doing an amazing job for keeping the riffraff
Zero
Changed
out of
my
the
tolerance.
chat.
screen
That
name.
shit. Zero
Changed my
tolerance.
screen name to BRYAN. They did a lot of shit.
Like
Travis.
it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
We got to wrap up here. We went a little bit late,
Okay.
but I'm in charge. Travis,
Charge.
the majority of people who ask this
Regular
question
no.
want to know,
Regular no. Regular no.
Geralt of boring trivia wants to know.
I get that one.
I know you do.
Char.
How does it feel to be the responsible one in combat situations for a change and hold others off from reckless decisions? Do you miss charging in blindly as an unstoppable tank of Leroy Jenkins?
Oh, sure, yeah. An unstoppable tank is simple, right? It's find the biggest threat and go smash it.
That's what they tell you when you go to jail. They say, find the biggest guy
Or-
and knock him out first to
Yep.
let them know.
Or become
that,
someone's bitch, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
And I tried
Just like
both, and I
D&D.
will say both are effective.
right.
If you want cigarettes.
Yeah. Tactically, it's simple, which is good because I needed that for the first time that I was playing. I had a hard enough time with the dice and the numbers, but having a little more, I guess, some more options at hand is great. And I'm not the most responsible tactically just yet. I'm still getting used to what everybody can do, and like the thing I'm logging, especially with Bo and with people like Jester, is how they can get too danger close too quickly, right? And then all of a sudden they're really, really in it. And having to get out without disengage is something that I'm just trying to clock as we go. I don't really have a great feel for it yet. So it's really fascinating to sort of watch everything else and to actually have to stay behind cover for a lot of it, because like in the end of that fight last night, there were just down the road, it was myself and then 4 gnolls, including big spike-borne battle dude. And I was like, well, if I stay here, I'm smoked. Am I actually gonna run back and hide behind that? I'm gonna go run back behind the house because that's what I have to do.
Yeah.
So it's just a different feel and feels nasty in the moment, but it's also kind of makes it awesome because you have to adapt to it.
Welcome to level 3.
Welcome to level 3.
Level
It felt so good to make Knowles scary.
Yeah.
Oh, I miss playing
He was a
Knowles.
beast.
I've had these minis for so long, and I've never been able to use them because I didn't use Knowles in the last campaign.
Yeah.
And you guys have always been too powerful, so I'm excited for all the things I get to pull out of my
they whooped
toolbox
our
for
ass.
this one. Knowles are such a great
Kicked
creature.
ass and ran.
I know. Well, they had other things to do.
We'll get it back.
Yeah.
I know. And props to Merchant Beauregard for, and someone mentioned this before I saw, that could have been a really bad death spiral if people kept
Yeah.
running in. I was like, somebody please tactically know that it's a bad decision to. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Beauregard would be the one. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Fuck, man, that could have gone really bad if you guys kept going in. I was like,
That would have been nuts. I mean, you already dropped 2 players in one round, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're falling really easily.
I went unconscious our first home game, like that. Cause
This is the first battle
one wizard.
This is the first battle we've had where Caleb didn't go unconscious, it seems.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
Learning
practically.
from our
Well,
mistakes.
Yeah, see,
All
practically.
right.
One of the most. Like
Yeah.
in the very first battle, he was just in the back going, "Oh God!" But
Yeah.
after that, he's just.
Well, our
he learned
last
wizard
question.
tactics.
for
Stay
the
behind the
night.
building.
I've got these people here telling me stuff. This is from Ghosty9. Lashif, we're going all the way to the end here. You each have significant others involved in this campaign.
That you know of.
In this state.
How difficult is it to keep secrets and story things, secrets about story things? Or do you share freely with each other?
Oh,
I don't know about you guys.
we share a little, and then when the really good stuff starts to pop up, Laura will keep it from me, and I'll keep a little bit from her, unless it's something that she like wants a second opinion on, right? But for the most part, we don't want to spoil it for each other, because it's just so. We know how creative each other can be, so we don't want to tip it off.
Is there anything else you guys keep from each other?
Just illegal
other-
weapon sales and a couple white powders that are.
I think
really,
all of us,
The other significant other?
Yeah.
all of us keep our relationship with Sam on the DL,
Well, that's more of a.
Except for Liam.
Well, we have to pay more if we don't.
We do.
Exactly.
I don't
yeah.
have that kind of money.
Matt, interesting dynamic. I loved the one-on-one with you and Marisha because I went like, oh, this is cool. This is how they eat dinner at night, this far away from each other at the table.
The Bruce Wayne table.
The
I didn't
Bruce
even
Wayne
think about
table.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
It's weird as they come here and eat dinner on the Critical Role table.
That's right.
Yeah,
yeah.
they haven't set the table up at their new place yet.
No. Well, it's nicer space. It feels
Yeah, yeah.
sat in.
If I set up a table, people want me to DM for them at my
I know.
house.
No, it's great. Yeah, practically. No, people have asked that question before, and it's like Marisha doesn't want to be spoiled, and
Yeah.
honestly, usually has far better things to do than to
Yeah,
have me
yeah.
tell her stuff. And I'm super secretive. Like, if she comes into the office while I'm in the middle of writing, I'll like close tabs and like, "Hi, what's going on?" in front of the screen.
I promise I'm not watching horse porn.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's campaign too.
helps me get away with that too.
Yeah.
But even in the game room when I'm building maps, I'll tell her like I'm in the game room building maps, can't come in. Click,
Yeah.
and if I hear her walking in, I'll like start covering it, like super secretive. But she doesn't pry or anything.
Yeah,
You know,
'cause
she doesn't want to know.
That takes away from her experience.
Yeah, exactly. Like I know people are like, is it too hard to resist the wanting to peek? And I mean, every person thinks that way until they find the Christmas presents at Christmas and go like,
Yeah.
oh well, Christmas is coming up,
Yeah.
So once you have that experience a few times in life, you're much easier to just wait.
Ash ran a lot of her backstory ideas by me, and when she was picking classes and stuff like that, and I just asked her a lot of questions to guide sort of where she was thinking, and she didn't need my help by any means, but I was so desperate for information that I was like, can I help in any way? I have like, I went ahead and cleared my schedule for the next year and a half, so. But she likes to keep some stuff really close to the chest too, and she doesn't let me anywhere near that. But I like that too because as a fan, I too don't want to be spoiled too much.
Good.
So I like to keep it because I'll be like, oh, don't tell me, because I'll ask her something. Go, do you think that later? And then I'll be in the middle of my question, be like, don't answer that. Save it for talks.
See, I'm a succubus. I pull from people because I talked to you a little bit about mine. and
Yeah.
I talked to Laura a little bit, and I talked to Matt, and that was about it. And I got a lot from all three, and then I
Stole it and make it mine.
Yes, of which, Danny, let's get an invoice out for that, by the way. I forgot to send that to
2
Travis.
weeks it's late. Yeah.
That's
At 30?
Yeah.
That's all the time we have for tonight, folks. Stick around for Talks Machina becomes the chocolate darkness. Talks Machina After Dark Chocolate on the website Alpha. I would like to hashtag thank my guests. Courtesy this week.
On the lean
You
forward.
did it great.
Yeah.
Courtesy this week of @Hayakis. Thank you, Turnt Sir.
That's good.
That's a good one.
I'll take it.
Dat Hex Killing Man.
Oh,
Nice.
that.
And I'm your host, Crying Lame Hoster.
Oh.
Well done.
Bravo. On the spot.
I didn't cry this episode. Critical Role Campaign 2, Episode 6 airs this week. Until then, don't forget to love each other, and don't worry, it's almost Thursday. Hey, turn, my friend. Always wore the bandanas?
Yes, that one.
You're thinking of the third guy from 98 Degrees.
Yeah,
because
the
there's
fifth,
Nick Lachey,
the
and then
fifth
there's
least
Short Lachey,
important one.
and Drew Lachey, and then the third guy is who you're thinking of.
Oh.
Welcome back to Talks Machina. We're debating the members of NSYNC versus the members of the Backstreet Boys versus the
98.
members of 98 Degrees. I received a lot of requests to tweet out Ryan Green and I's Fjord pronunciations.
Did you really?
Yep. So I'm going
pronunciation
to
guide?
tweet this out for all of you. Our
waiting for
questions for Talks Machina Becomes the Darkness are curated from the Alpha Chat, which is moderated by the artist formerly known as Courtney B. Kraft.
I know, right?
I'm
so disappointed.
multitasking. Matt, you have played, this is from Rin88.
Hi, Rin.
Hi, Rin. Are you guys hiring? You've played a lot.
It's Iris. I went there, low hanging fruit is my thing.
You've played a lot of awesome NPCs in the first campaign. Which one would you want to play again / bring forward into this new campaign if you could?
I'm not going to tell you that.
Come on.
I know, and I understand why you'd ask that question, but no, if there's an NPC I really want to bring in, I'll bring him in, but I don't want to tell anyone that, you know? Make it a surprise.
Yeah.
And like part of the thing too is like I want to make this campaign definitely its own standalone thing. I don't want it to rely heavily on the previous campaign. You know, if anything it naturally evolves in the story where there is, you know, an old NPC or a story tie-in, then I'm not going to shoot it down. But I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know where you guys are going to go necessarily, and I want that to be a surprise for everyone.
Good.
I mean, I love all my old NPCs, especially, you know, Allura, Gilmore, a lot of those folks.
We know which ones you don't love as much because you didn't mention the Allura and Gilmore just now.
Well, there you go. Have your answer. Probably Allura or Gilmore then,
that's the guy.
I guess. But they're busy.
That one's free.
I like Seneca's wife because she was really quiet. Hey, guys. Travis, question from Narf Jones. How's that chocolate buddy? Do you have a chocolate buddy?
What's a chocolate?
How's that chocolate
buddy?
They didn't put
it
a
was-
comma in.
Yeah, punctuation. It was good.
Yeah.
He had a crack, baby.
The fruity one that
Versus
Courtney
she
had was
had a
not so
crack.
awesome, but the little peanut butter cup was delish.
Oh yeah.
Why are you pointing over there?
Because
Did you give him to Courtney?
Courtney had a
Travis mine, so I didn't like it.
yeah.
Oh,
And
after
you know
she
I'll-
bit into it?
Oh yeah. He'll
It had
carry
a
that
nice
shit away.
amaretto flavor.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yes, it was delicious.
Let me give you a serious question, Travis,
okay.
because that one was obviously for funsies. Psych24 wants to know,
Psych.
how strong is Fjordy's beard game going to be as the story progresses?
Not
I mean, beards were a very big part of Grog's, you know.
only because of that damn belt. They didn't have a lot of, facial hair game. I feel coming up with this answer in the moment. I feel like Ford is more of like a 5 o'clock shadow guy at the most, but I think he likes to keep the canvas clean, as it were.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, he's got that falchion. He's got to give it some action.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it just.
I pictured him as more of a waxer.
Oh, a face waxer? Yeah, that's a terrible idea.
That's a horrible idea.
This is hilarious. This is a question from a conversation that took place in the Alpha chat room. Is Arsqueef the traveler who achieved apotheosis like the Raven Queen?
Amazing.
I mean, I don't want to spoil anything, but yes,
I hope
you figured
so.
it out. You've completely
I hope so.
unlocked the secrets of the Exandria.
Fly him in
New
and make
pantheon.
that happen. Wow.
Sharp Shedda wants to know, Travis, can you give us more information about the critter in the hoodie you stopped in the middle of the road today?
Yeah, I saw a tweet. What happened?
Yeah, it was like 8:30, and I was coming into Hollywood to go to a VO session, and just on the sidewalk on the southbound side of the street was a gray hoodie that said, "How do you want to do this?" And I fully was like, "I'm early." Just like pulled over, stopped and I got it. I was like, yo! And she just kept walking and had like the double pump look over, and I like ran over with my hand out and I was like, I love your, and I could just see that she was looking at me like with a little bit of fear, and I was like, oh God, I love your hoodie. And she goes, oh, I love your show. And I was like, okay, bye. I just got back in my car, and I had it neutral. I hadn't put it in park, so the car like started like rolling a little bit. and I'm like fighting the gear shift, and she walks up outside the window, and she was like,
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
what an ambassador for our
That is, well,
our
no,
brand
I think that is exactly the Critical Role experience that we provide.
Yeah.
As cast members,
Yeah.
we are just the most awkward fucking
see you on the
people in the
street.
world.
If I had thought of it, I would have taken a picture or a video, but she looked so afraid, and I was like, oh God, what if she's borrowing like a roommate's hoodie, and this giant 6'4" asshole is just like running to, like, saw me pull over. I love your hoodie! Oh my God, I love your hoodie! God damn it! Yeah. Yep.
That's hilarious.
Oh, that makes me so happy.
I was at Walgreens the other day picking up medication for my Nana, and I was not looking my best. I had just gotten up. It was 1 in the afternoon. I had my sweatpants on. I was all like, I hadn't put the beard oils in, and I saw someone walk into Walgreens with a Critical Role hoodie on. And I was like, holy shit, and I bolted. Because I looked so bad. And on the off chance that they were one of the 1/100th of the people who watched this show.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, me and Marisha, whenever we have like a day off together, we'll go super just pajama day.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
pajama pants.
Yeah.
Like just we're just the epitome of the comfortable couple that don't
Yes.
they'll just look awful. And like we'll occasionally go out and get some lunch or something like that. And a few times we've had someone come and be like, hey, just wanted to say I love Critical Role. And we're like, thanks.
Oh God.
I'm so sorry.
They must think we're poor.
Yeah. I mean,
That made me.
It's in your writer to look better, Matthew. Come on.
Yeah.
Contractually.
Yeah. You need to start
you spell
wearing
that?
suits.
I don't know.
You start wearing suits from now on. This is from Book. For all of us, excluding the St. Valentine's Day massacre, what's your worst Valentine's Day memory?
Ooh.
Well, I don't remember the St. Valentine's Day massacre because I was not alive.
I have one. I was in like third grade.
For the first time?
Yep, for the first time. And I had a crush on a girl, and I went and stole a little perfume sample from my mom's closet to give as like a Valentine. But it was like a little glass little thing. And during recess, I chickened out and didn't have the courage to go up and be like, Happy Valentine's Day with this thing from my mom's closet. And so she was wearing a jacket with like a hood in the back. And so I went up and I thought I'll be like a secret admirer, and I stealthily put it in the hood. And one of her friends turned and saw me do it. She was like, oh, he put something in your hood. She went, ah, and just smashed it on the ground. I was like, she was like, go away. I was like, I'm sorry.
That's pretty terrible.
could be worse.
Tell us how.
I'm ready.
6th grade.
Okay. Okay.
This is what we wait for.
I had a huge crush on a girl named Jackie in my choir class, chorus class in elementary and middle school. And for Valentine's Day, I asked her if she wanted to go out. It's like I've had a girlfriend name before. It was like the first time I actually got the courage to ask a girl out. And so for the earlier in the day, we had a first period together, and so I asked her on the way out. I was like, hey, would you be interested in going out sometime, being my Valentine type thing? And she was like, oh, okay, yeah. And I was like, yeah, king of the world.
Yeah.
Lunch rolls around. She comes up with 3 of her friends and is like, hey, I'm sorry. No. Sorry, just not interested.
Did her friends?
No.
I don't know, maybe. Or just like I caught her in the moment and she awkwardly said yes, and then later was like, stupid, no, never, Matt. And so
By committee?
And so like within the same day, went from like the best Valentine's Day to the worst Valentine's Day. My final period of the day was PE, and I remember everyone else out there is running the mile, and I'm just like refusing to do anything. I'm just sitting there sulking, heavy sulk. And Mr. Pickett, who was my PE teacher at the time, comes over to me and sits down and goes like, you all right? I'm like, no. He goes, is it a woman? And I went, yeah.
Yes.
He went,
They know.
it's okay. It can be fickle. And I went,
Yeah.
Wow.
Commiserating with a 6th grader.
Wow.
yeah, I was very, even then I was like, dude, But yeah, that was a pretty shitty
It was like,
Valentine's.
you should have heard what the missus said last night when I asked for the stroganoff.
No, seriously,
Yeah,
I'm like,
right.
I was
Where was
scared
that
he was
going?
about to unload all of his like marital woes onto me, and I was like,
I'll go
that's
run
not
the
what this is
mile.
about.
I'll
yeah,
go run
I'll
the
go.
mile.
Yeah, good at doing your job, I guess, at that point, and getting me my ass up and running. But yeah, man, that sucked.
Oh, geez.
I think my worst Valentine's Day memory will be tomorrow night as I am drinking on the mountain with Brian Bloom for some reason.
Oh, good, yeah.
And not hanging. No, Ashley's in New York, obviously.
I know.
And then Brian was like, "Do you want to hang out tomorrow?" I said, "It's Valentine's Day, man." He's like, "Your lady moved across the country so she wouldn't have to spend Valentine's
You know
Day.
how many
You have
women?
no plans."
Do you know how many women would kill to have Valentine's Day with Brian Bloom?
Oh my
tomorrow night?
God.
Yeah, I would kill.
Those eyes.
Remember when we went to the UFC fight and
Yep.
like 5 people were like, I went to this is soft subject, but I went to a jazz show with him one time. We were sitting up at the bar and this guy walks up and he was totally straight. I mean, he seemed like a super, just like, he wasn't being weird or gross or anything, but he walked up and he was like, "Hey man, you got some fucking beautiful eyes." Man." And I don't mean, I'm not trying to like, I'm not hitting on you. I'm totally straight. I just, God damn, man, like,
Yep.
do your parents have those? You know, and he was just like, "Yeah, man, cool,
man. Yeah, bro. Appreciate it.
50 cents a look."
And for context, go Google Brian Bloom, which I'm sure he will hate, and you will see his husky vampire eyes, and you'll be
Yes.
like,
Yeah.
"Oh shit, those are
Terrifying.
crazy."
And hopefully his
crazy eyes.
younger headshots with the mullet
mullets.
and
Yep.
Yeah,
his
there's
brief
lots of-
stint in like
God bless.
Playgirl or
Godspeed.
whatever.
Lots of pictures of him in the woods, shirtless in the woods with Alyssa
Yep.
Milano.
Yeah.
Oh, Danny's got some stuff.
Danny's furiously
Yep.
Googling over here.
Turn it this way. Don't just.
Matt and Travis,
Yes.
this is from The Swindler,
Ooh.
my dad.
There you go.
Is there a version of the Olympics in Exandria? And this is a topical fucking question. In what Olympic sport would Fjord compete?
Curling.
Ooh,
No, that's just
because
what
you're
came-
so good at sweeping?
Yeah.
Sam made similar hand motions on the couch last
Does it have to be a winter Olympic sport? I guess it does, right?
It does
Just
not
in-
specify.
Well, tis the season, so I'm gonna say luge. I don't know why.
Luger?
I just saw an amazing crash in the luge yesterday, so it's fresh
yeah.
in my mind.
I don't know if there would be like a worldwide Olympics in Exandria. A lot of the nations tend to keep to their own.
Yeah.
If there were any, or if there were like an intercontinent competitive sport type event, it would probably be somewhere near the Bay of Gifts.
Ooh.
Just because the
Right.
Marquette seems to have a warmer topography and has more of an international type feel right on that northern side of Marquette. So if anywhere, it'd probably be there.
Awesome. Start piecing it together for 2 years from now.
Yep, let's do it. Deals.
This is from Asuka XK. Danny, how do you even put up with these guys?
I love them with all my heart.
She loves them with all her heart, she says.
Make it turn. Make it turn. We got a camera over here.
Danny Camp.
Yeah! Danny Camp.
That's our girl.
Amazing.
Oh my God, this is from Rop. Matt,
Yes.
Travis, you can answer this too. How does it feel to be looking so cool on all those billboards all over LA?
Did you go see it in person?
We finally saw it in person on the weekend. Yeah, we went and visited. It's fucking surreal. Like this whole experience, the Critical Role, is such a unquantifiable, unexpected, weird, wonderful thing. It's a strange gift, and that's just another example of something that we could never have ever have expected to happen.
No.
Like especially as actors, when you come to Hollywood, there's a moment in your career when you first start, you're like, oh, what it would be to one day be on one of these billboards, and you never would have thought it would be for your Dungeons and Dragons game, let alone that outfit.
Yeah.
Well, after our first game, I remember someone very abstractly saying, "We're going to get you looking like '80s David Koresh up on a billboard in LA one day." So we'll make sure that happens.
Were you bummed that Taylor Kish beat you out for that role for the Waco show?
Hashtag Paramount Network.
Yeah, I know.
Hashtag Paramount. Damn you, John Carter.
Yeah, no, it was really crazy and weird and incredible, and I don't know. None of us know what's happening at any given point in time.
Yep.
Have you divin into the
All
rumor
of
mill
those.
regarding this campaign already? Because this question from Cranberry Berry, an extra berry cranberry.
I'd buy that cereal.
What is the most out there theory that you wish was true? That I'm your friend?
Oh, we can confirm that here. Most out there theory that I wish. I've gone into a few of the threads. I don't know. There was a lot of the rumors that I remember are the ones that are like somewhat adjacent or close to threads that are out there. There were some people out there that got some really like, spot on guesses of the whole carnival arc.
Oh.
And how it wove together, and I was like, all right, props.
Props.
And a lot didn't, but there were a few that did.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Man, I'm glad I don't look at this stuff.
Yeah, there was there's some people that are getting elements of certain characters' backstories kind of guessed loosely, but there haven't been any extreme rumors for this campaign that I've seen so far that I, wish were real.
It's too early on.
Yeah. And if I like it, I'll just use it. No, but
Can't copyright a Reddit post.
yeah, I haven't seen anything too crazy. Partially because they're mostly people just trying to talk about different characters' backstories. I did see one that was hoping that your patron was the Kraken that ate Keyleth's mom.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, that would be really fucked up.
And now that's separate from the Kraken that we faced in the water elemental plane, right?
No, that's the same.
Same one? That was pooping out the little orbs of energy and
of
stuff?
justice.
That's the same one, right? Oh, shit. That's messed up.
Yeah, that is messed up.
Be pretty fun if it was.
I did double birds. Thank you.
Travis, I lost the question.
Oh,
for
that's
you.
right. I forgot. Yes, of course. Keyleth's
It was
mom's
about
orc-
licking
yes.
dice.
We were panicked during that session.
Yeah, that was a really
that was
stressful
really
slog.
going south.
Yeah.
That fight.
This
a
question
lesson.
comes from T-Boys. T-Boys to men. What are your feelings about Laura asking Sam to lick her dice? Are you upset that your saliva isn't as lucky?
No, actually, I'm thrilled that she's asking Sam to do these things because every time that he is shown a new glimmer of her insane dice rituals, my heart grows one size each session because I don't have to hear that shit anymore. Like it's right there, it's immediate, right? There's a lot of fucking dice to roll.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I tried to talk her out of it, but it's just not happening, Brian.
Yeah,
Okay,
dude.
that conversation's going nowhere.
I get it. There's a lot of shit I would not want to talk to Laura about.
Yeah.
Well, that's all the time we have for tonight, guys, for After Dark. Tune in Thursday night for Critical Role. Listen to the podcast of last week's episode if you want. Buy some merch for your friends, your family, your cousins, your enemy.
People walking down the sidewalk, apparently.
Yeah, if you see Travis coming towards you at 100 miles an hour, do not embrace him. Rather, turn and run away, like we all do.
I'll catch you.
We love you guys. Thanks for watching. This was good.
Yes, it was, Brian. Yes, it was.
This was worth everybody's money. My upcoming appearances will be at the Van Nuys Courthouse this Thursday at 9 a.m.
My neck of the woods. That'll be
Your
fun.
neck of the woods?
Yeah, stop by for
for a
breakfast
crime unrelated to that machete you found in your trash can a couple months
I have
ago.
good breakfast
I've always
sandwiches outside
wondered.
of there.
You do?
Yeah.
Meet me out there at 8:55. We love you guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you Thursday night. Bye.